started here, boys.
All right.
Steven, where are you from?
Well, what's the name of your podcast first?
Oh,
Yeah.
The CG Realty podcast.
yeah.
Is it?
We should probably.
It is now.
Yeah.
We should come up with something a little bit better. Like,
All right. Drop your favorite name in the comments here.
right. So
We'll do a little poll on LinkedIn.
there's the Agent Investor podcast, which is at the
I like
old
that.
brokerage. Well, that's Vanguard's.
Yeah.
Oh, nice.
But it's like agent, investor, entrepreneur is such an overused word, but like that's who we're looking to talk
Is it
to.
an overused word?
I think so.
Yeah, I think it's just it's morphed in its when you like it used to not be popular to be an entrepreneur. Like
Yeah.
when our parents were growing up and stuff, an entrepreneur is like this plumber, who like is making 100, 150K a year, which is good money, of course. But now it's like this like tech billionaire.
Right.
You know,
It used
an
to be the
entrepreneur.
kid that
You know what
didn't
I mean?
get into college.
Exactly. It was the entrepreneur. It's like that's kind of like a, look down
That's
your
fair
nose
to
on
say.
profession. But
Yeah, go to school.
I think
get
it's just-
a
it's like,
degree.
Do you even have health insurance?
yeah, it's just it's just morphed.
Yeah.
Speaking
No,
of
for
which,
sure.
if there's entrepreneurs listening, we should probably talk about how to get health insurance for your self-employed
Yeah.
business. But
Get your checkbook ready.
exactly. No, QuickBooks has some good stuff with have you ever looked into
No.
like Simply Insured and QuickBooks?
No.
It's great.
Really?
Awesome. Yeah. It was like we were when we first started, we were able to get a couple like first employees on that like and competed with like a bigger firm because we had like a healthcare benefit program,
Oh, that's cool.
but it was just all through QuickBooks. I mean, it's not the best like long term as you're building your business. Like now we use JustWorks, which is like a PEO, like competes with like ADP or something. $99 per employee, and they run everything from short-term disability, long-term dental, vision, health insurance. You can get a 401k with a match.
Does ADP have
sweet.
something like that?
Yeah, but it's so much more expensive.
Okay, because that's
Really?
who does our payroll.
Oh, yeah. Oh, okay.
ADP.
So we're actually paying ADP right now.
Well, I mean, maybe it's not. We
should
did.
swap it because that's expensive.
Yeah,
it really is.
Well,
JustWorks is good. It's just like a flat $100
It's
per
expensive to
month.
get health care. ADP is not
Yeah.
expensive to just have ADP.
Yeah, the
Oh,
healthcare. Well, so JustWorks has a deal with Aetna, and then when you've got like 4 or 5 different plans, similar to I'm sure what you guys do with ADP, but you've got like 4 or 5 different plans that you can kind of choose from or offer to employees, and then you can kind of prorate how much you want to pay for their health insurance.
I know it's really different too when it's like just me and being self-employed, having healthcare for me versus once you have employees is completely different. Like I was talking to a financial advisor and he was like, once you get an employee, he was like, that's when we can start doing group plans. It gets a lot.
Yeah, that
more
is definitely true.
inexpensive.
Yeah, that's definitely true.
But you guys have employees.
But you can offer that to part-time people as well.
Yeah. So something I looked at too.
Good. I mean,
There's one tangent.
are you underneath of it?
Yeah.
So like that would help us because
Dude,
We save a lot. I save a ton of
my
money.
deductible, if something were to ever happen to me, is like 10 G's.
catastrophic.
Yeah, like
Yeah.
it's basically like an
plan.
insurance policy against like catastrophic events.
Yeah.
Yeah. I mean, I also selected the one that's like lowest possible monthly.
Yeah.
High deductible.
Yeah.
Still pretty young.
Yeah.
Yeah.
At least me and Steven.
Yeah.
Just kidding, guys.
Fair enough. I joined the 40. club.
Anyway,
It just happens in a straight line. You'll be here soon.
Well, let's talk about something more exciting than health
Yeah,
insurance.
right.
How about we do that?
Drew just went to Bermuda for his 40th birthday. That's pretty exciting.
Did you?
Yeah.
Nice.
I suggest Bermuda to anyone.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Where is that in like the L?
The triangle.
It's just,
Triangle. Yeah.
it's literally east off of North Carolina.
Oh, the Bermuda Triangle. Duh.
Yeah. Everyone,
Thank you,
I
Rob.
have no idea. Yeah.
Bermuda Triangle.
Yeah, no, you're right. You're definitely right. Hit that out of the
great.
park.
That's great. Oh, jeez. But
But how old were you when you bought your first company?
When I bought it, that was 2.5 years ago.
Okay.
So,
Oh.
I started the first one 4.5 years ago.
Okay. So you started one
Yeah. Yep.
and sold that one. Or is that the one that you're in the process?
There's like 6. So let's.
Oh, all right. Well, take us through the timeline. Yeah.
So, well, it was kind of funny. So I'll real briefly, I went to school for bio pre-med, wanted to become an orthopedic surgeon. So that was like that was the track. Like I was 100% in, Vince is going to kill me. That was 100% in on becoming.
It's just funny to me. I'm sorry.
Yeah, ortho surgeon. That was like the goal. Took the MCATs after my bachelor degree, and I was like, why am I signing up? Like, I would literally start my career this year if I would have done that,
That's
out of school. So I was like, why am I signing up for like 10 years of monotonous school? There's no creativity. Like the beautiful thing about business and real estate too is like you can be as creative as you want to be. There's like so many ways to get a deal done. There's literally one track for that. Right. It's like you got to go to med school and you got to get a residency, then you got to get an internship, then you got to like get a job. It's like, screw that. So I moved on from that. I ironically had started a landscaping company, and like every time I needed money, it would just like go door knock, but was never like, oh, I'm a business guy. You know, like that was never my thing, but it was just like every time I needed money, I would start a business to go, like pay for pizza on Friday night or whatever.
Right.
You know what I mean?
Right.
So I went into med device sales, worked my way up into Stryker Orthopedics, just like a big Fortune 500. And I was a trauma consultant. So I'd be in the OR helping surgeons figure out how to use trauma products during like gunshot wounds. I mean, there's some gnarly stories we could talk about there, but I kind of got the fix of like the ortho surgery. I was like in between 60 and 80 like intense surgeries per month, and was
That's
like
crazy. I didn't know this.
Yeah, it was crazy. I mean, and each surgery is like between 2 and 8 hours. So 60 to 80 surgeries a month. I'm like sleeping in the parking garage, the hospital, like leaving my wife at dinner all the time. It's just like not very sustainable, but it was very exciting. I loved it.
Yeah, and I'm sure it was financially rewarding as well.
So that's part of the story. It was not, because you kind of grind. No, but so this is the funny part. Like when I finally I was like, okay, I need to like transition into something where I can use the sales and the business acumen that I've kind of started to build, especially at Stryker at a Fortune 500, but not have the lifestyle that I had,
Right.
So I put in my, 2 weeks notice. I was trying to negotiate a promotion. They weren't like too keen on it. So I put in my 2 weeks notice. I get a call from the head of trauma at Stryker. So this guy's like reporting to the C-suite at this Fortune 500, offers me, 7 times what I was getting paid.
Oh my gosh.
To stay.
Was it all salary or is it like a commission?
Commission and salary. Yeah.
Were you in your head, in the back of your head, you're like, dang, I could have been getting paid this like probably
a long
time ago.
I said, absolutely not. Like there's no way.
Yeah.
Wow.
But the reason being is like, and you guys know, it's like there's so many ways to make money out there, right? It's like, if you're not enjoying what you're doing, you're not like building something that you have a piece in. Like I'm building this guy, Stryker, they got Mr. Stryker's vision and he died like 60 years ago. So it's like, I'm building his vision, and it's like a good thing. It's a great thing for a lot of people to do, but it's just like, I had that itch to be more entrepreneurial,
Right. Once you get it, it's hard to ignore it.
Exactly. Yeah. Seriously. You get like, it's like bit by a bug, become Spider-Man.
Yeah.
I don't know if I'm going back.
Yeah.
It's hard to.
The W-2 life.
Yeah, I don't think I could. I spent time in finance, and it was commission only, but I still felt like I worked.
Yeah,
for someone else.
Yeah,
it's your own business, but is it my own business? Do I have to report to 9 different people still?
There's nothing better just being like, dude, I don't have to. I can go to Disney World like right now.
Right.
You know what I mean? Which is super.
Vince takes 6 vacations a year.
Yeah. How do you guys feel about him just jetting off to Disney World?
It actually is his own business.
He went to Bermuda, and you just went to somewhere else.
He's going to throw it right back at you, Drew.
Yeah, right?
three nights. Quick trip. But the freedom that you can create.
Yeah.
Independence is.
That's the most.
You can't put a price tag on
it's
that.
Untouchable.
Yeah, you really can't.
Mark Cuban was like, and this is completely probably BS, right? But he was like, I'd rather make $50,000 working for myself rather than make $500,000 working for somebody else.
Well, that was literally a decision point that I just got to. Like that was the decision point.
Yeah.
That was my on target earnings was about $500,000, and I was making, somewhere around 50K.
Yeah.
And I decided, no, I'm not doing that. It's just like, because you can make that kind of money. And if it's not really about the money, it's like, that's kind of a scorecard, what I mean? Onto how well you're doing in your entrepreneurial journey.
So Real quick, something you just said. You were making 50,000 standing in
It sounds better
OR.
to have 50 to 500. So the real numbers was I was making 60 to 65. They offered me between 350 and 400 as like
your commission upside.
on target earnings, but we were at like 120% to target. So typically, it would have been around $500,000.
Okay. Right.
The guy in South Jersey, he clears after taxes. He's a striker rep. He clears after taxes $1.2 million.
Right. I applied.
Insane.
I actually applied to that company.
Did you really?
Yeah.
1.2.
So in 2017, they just wouldn't look at it. You know, like I didn't have a background in medical sales.
Yeah.
And I was coming from like life insurance sales, which I had a high level resume. Like I sold a lot of life insurance, but they just wouldn't.
It's a grinder.
Yeah. They wouldn't look at me.
Yeah, it took me 10 months to get in there and I did, I think 15 interviews.
Wow.
It's insane. It's not an easy place to get in, but it's your golden ticket in med device. Like you can write your ticket wherever you want to go.
Sure.
You were on your way. I mean, I still think most people wouldn't have decided what you decided.
Yeah. I mean, I don't want to be that though. You know what I mean?
Right.
So, and like, I'm not trying, again, like I really don't want this to be disparaging those decisions. Cause I think that that's a great career path. You know, I was working with a lot of people that was their path and it's an awesome path. Like it's a super fortunate position to be in. And I don't take that for granted. It just wasn't for me, you know, like I wanted to test out my, entrepreneurial capabilities. So that's what happened.
So then after that, what happened? So
I went into my dad had a software company and was struggling to figure out sales. So helped him out for 2 years and then decided, all right, I want to start my sales consultancy, you know, cause like I'm getting like I've seen it work in landscaping, dental implants, trauma surgery, software. I'm like, I think I've kind of built a knowledge base around sales. Let me start a consultancy around that as the first business. So I did that, but it's very unscalable. It's like my time, you know, it was a glorified job, you know? So then the media company, that's like marketing, like with Stryker, I could walk into a hospital and I'm like, I'm with Stryker. They're like, okay, yeah, come sit over here. Like we'll get, your meeting set up. And I like walk in as like freaking Doc Lab. And they're like, what's that? You know what I mean? Like, who are you? So, marketing and brand, I just like really got an understanding of that. And it was more so based off of like, I need more sales. Like I need like brand in order to like give me some credibility. So that's why I was like, yeah, okay, like let's dive into what is brand, what is marketing, like how does that all work out? And then by doing that, I was like, why don't I just try and get a bunch of clients, that are looking for marketing services and then try and figure out how to brand their stuff. So so that's the one that we started to build. And that happened in 2020. So the other thing too, I formed the business in January of 2023 or January 23rd of 2020. Went on my own payroll on February, I think 5th or 4th. COVID lockdown was February 10th. So it's like, dang, 5 days after I'm on my own payroll.
Yeah, right.
Like I was like, holy crap. So it was, but everybody needs brand digitally. So it was like literally the perfect business to start at the perfect time. Cause anybody I talked to, they're like, yeah, we got to figure this problem out. Yeah,
seriously, no, that is a good
point. They had
point.
time to figure it out.
Right. And that's the benefit of an entrepreneur too, is like, if you're working at a restaurant, or you're like, COVID lockdown happens, what are you going to do? Right. You're working at the restaurant. If you're the owner of the restaurant, it's like you start a delivery service, you've got the agility to deal with the market, and you're not like with an employment, you got one customer, that's your employer. Whereas like with your own business, it's like, the world is your oyster.
Yeah,
you know what I mean? If you want to make some more money or you need to pivot, like just you've got that ability to figure it out.
Right.
Yeah.
Absolutely. So. And it all really comes down to marketing.
Right. Yeah.
Like I could start a power washing company today. And it's just all about the effective marketing. Right. And like, can you talk about some of the ways that you used marketing?
Yeah. Yeah, I mean, I think similar to getting to know you guys a little bit too. I'm like a salesperson at heart, you know? So like, I strongly believe that all marketing needs to be tied to revenue. Like if you look at a P&L, the line item for marketing is in your expenses. You know what I mean? The line item for sales is literally the lifeblood of your business. So like that's how I think about it, is like it should be feeding your sales. However, good marketing that feeds your sales gives you the permission to build brand, and brand is a long-term, it's like, buying a cash flow negative property that is going to appreciate over 20 years and you're going to make 20 million off the appreciation. It's like you're kind of taking a loss over time to build something that's going to be a great asset, right. In brand. And then marketing is like, that's your monthly cash flow. It's like, so that's kind of how I would think about it in terms of like real estate, in as a parallel. But yeah, marketing, I mean, I'm a big fan of organic as well, especially for like, if you're trying to start your business, bootstrap, no money,
right.
It's like your content and the quality of your content, the quality of what you put out is what's going to help you to build your business with very little money. It's really your time investment, as opposed to like, a VC backed company is spending between 1 and 10 million a month on paid advertising, so like that they might make 20 million off of that, as a VC backed software company. But, you could spend 3 hours a day and over time build that same business, you know what I mean? Just by doing organic quality content, so.
That's fascinating. Yeah. How did you track the results of your marketing?
Well, so the term in marketing is attribution, like that's kind of the term that it's a fancy way of talking about how to track, the dollars spent, your what do they call that? ROAs, your return on advertising, so like, how do you track the return on every dollar spent? Paid. That's why people gravitate to paid, cause it's like Google does a great job. Facebook does a great job. That's why, they, right. $1 trillion companies, right? Yeah. They have a phenomenal dashboard that you can attribute every cent spent to revenue for your business. Organic is more challenging, to attribute. And that's part of, I think, entrepreneurship too. It depends on your stage. So like for me, I was starting out, right? So like if I put out a LinkedIn post and I get 40 people that like it and one person DMs me and then they become a client, it's like, well, it's 100% margin on that post because it didn't cost me anything other than my time, right? And I got a client out of it, Right. So it's fuzzy, but the return is dramatically different. You know what I mean? Especially if like, so say for instance, project management software, is a great example. So like there were a couple early movers that built $5-10 million ARR businesses off of, pay-per-click for Google. However, Asana and Monday.com, if you're familiar with those, project management tools, they come in VC backed, they got hundreds of millions of funding. They're going to price up everybody in pay-per-click because they're going to spend $5 where you're spending 5 cents, you know what I mean? On the same click, to get their brand on that click. So but no one's going to step in and be like, oh, I'm now Drew, right? And I can now just take all of his audience and all of his, weight in organically in the market. So it's like you're building an asset for your business, by doing organic as well. So that's really the brand. You know what I mean?
Right.
So the marketing is like, you've got, you're putting yourself out there, generating an audience, pulling leads from that audience. That's your marketing. But then over time, no one can really take that. It's an undisruptible asset that you have. And there's no platform risk if you're able to own the media. So that's like a big thing too. Like a lot of people talk about how, like if Instagram changes their algorithm, these influencers could lose millions of dollars overnight. Instagram could just change it. So they call that platform risk. I know you love the word platform. So
yeah, buzzword.
But if you've got a website, right? Like no one's going to come and change the algorithm of your website. Like you're going to type in www.cg.
Campbell Gerard. Yeah. CG Realty now, right?
CGRealty.com.
I think it gets forwarded. Our original site was Campbell Gerard.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Cool. Just Google CG Realty, right? But no one's going to be able to take that away because you own that. You know what I mean? So like that's another area of good marketing. It's not always, to answer your question about attribution, it's not always about the dollars either. It's about like driving traffic to your owned platform. Whether that's your email list, whether that's your website, like it's undisruptible. There's no platform risk on that.
Sounds like that would take more time than the
Right.
fast version of pay-per-click, or
Exactly.
which you could lose quickly as well.
Yeah, and I don't mean to disparage that. Like I've got a party rental business, and
both.
100% of our lead flow is from pay-per-click.
Right.
You know, like
Just Google pay-per-click.
yeah, we've grown 250% year over year, and it's because of pay-per-click. So,
Wow.
you know, there's a place for it for sure. Like,
Right.
and I don't want people to hear me wrong on that. It's just like for the business that I started, it was like bringing organic marketing best practices to, like, we had 3 publicly traded mining companies as clients. You know, we were building a podcast for them, getting, you know, their traction on LinkedIn. One guy rose $100 million fund off of his LinkedIn following that we built, you know,
Wow.
as part of his podcast. Just crazy. He literally built a mine in Alabama off of his podcast.
Wow.
That's wild.
So it's like, you can't really attribute, like he did spend money on us. He spent like $5,000 a month, but,
Right.
but like, so he spent $60,000 for 2 years, so $120,000, and built a mine that was $100 million asset. So like your return on ad spend is ROAS. That's what
Yeah.
it is.
That's
Return on
wild.
ad spend.
And like, it's just funny because when you say podcast, right? So he raised how much? 100
million.
100 million off podcasts, right? So just,
And it was more so his LinkedIn following and the channels that he used
Right.
for that. Yeah.
so that means
Yeah.
find the LinkedIn login.
Could relate it to real estate. Like we pay for Zillow leads and then work in your sphere. I feel
Right.
like it's a similar, you know, that's our pay-per-click.
Yeah, we could do Google pay-per-click too for buyers.
So I've seen agents do it. Yeah.
I think it's a little different in real estate. I think like Zillow just has a stronghold over.
People
For now.
definitely still do Google pay-per-click though. I know it's a lot of agents.
Do they? Yeah.
For sure. Yeah, I mean, you're Googling homes in Aston, PA. My name's at the top, or you click the link and it draws them to my website or something.
You know what I love though about entrepreneurship and real estate in the same, and I've noticed this just talking to you guys more. You're in the game, so you've got your pulse on it. Like what's going to get you a lead today is going to be different a year from now.
Right.
You know what I mean? So it's like, it's more about keeping your pulse on it and testing out things. It's like, don't go and like put all of your ad spend towards Google ads and not Zillow, right?
Right.
It's just like, let's section out a little bit, see if we get any traction. If there's a demand signal, we'll put more in there, and then
If not,
let
go
that be
somewhere else.
another channel
Yeah.
for us.
Right.
You know?
For sure.
That's why it's like default action is the thing. You know what I mean? Like, and that, I think that's what keeps a lot of people looking for entrepreneurship in their own way, is like when I wanted to start I wanted to learn about marketing. My first thing to do was to email blast 5,000 people about whether or not they wanted me to do marketing services. You know, because now I'm getting paid to go learn how to do their marketing, and they're holding me accountable. Like they're spending money on me. I got to figure it out. You know what I mean? But it's like default action is like what's going to get you in the game. Like you're going to pound the pavement, cold call, or you're going to, post selfie videos on Instagram to get deal flow. Like Rob was telling
There's
me
a
about.
million
It's
different
like,
ways to do it, right?
yeah, it's
Right.
default action is the takeaway.
Like when you're hitting the phones and then someone else calls you completely separate from that.
Yeah, it's
Yeah.
a beautiful
You're just
feeling.
taking action and something,
drug.
Yeah.
something shakes loose.
There's so many different ways to
The
go about
dopamine
it.
hit is unreal.
Oh, dude.
And it's
Feels like-
crazy how like,
Screw fentanyl. Just go with dopamine. On
Yeah.
cold calls.
Yeah, right. Seriously. I feel like what's the Thanos, dude? You're just charged up.
yeah, you feel like you can run through a wall, as Drew always says.
That's why you have him in the basement in case he runs through one.
Yeah.
But no, like yesterday, like I'll even tell that story real quick while we're doing this. So I was cold calling, right? Around Prospect Park, just because I had a buyer looking in Prospect Park. And this dude was like, I'm getting a divorce, going to be selling my house soon. Keep in touch. So I'm like, all right, cool. So this was like 3 weeks ago. So I called him yesterday, and he goes, you know what? He's like, still haven't decided what we're doing with the Prospect Park house yet. He's like, but I do have a rental. He's like, and I just want to unload it. And this is what I was going to talk to you about.
Sweet.
So he's like, there's a tenant in there right now. He's paying $1,550. He's like, I don't want to put it up on the market. I don't want to disrupt my tenant. So I was like, all right. I just like, we could throw it up at 225, see what happens. It'll probably go for around 225. And he's like, dude, I just want to be done with it. He's like, what about like 160 and then just get somebody to buy it off market? And I was like, dude, 160, I'll buy it. And he's like, when can you come take a look at it? I was like, I'll be there tomorrow.
Yeah. What are you doing in the afternoon here?
Right, exactly. So the tenant's back. The tenant's going to be at the house. at
My
5:30.
meetings just randomly got canceled. Let's go.
But you figure the house is worth 225. going in at 160, and he said that there's some stucco issues on the outside. So realistically, I'll probably end up offering a
Well,
150.
why don't you guys explain the rule of 70? Rob taught me it.
Yeah, right.
Yeah, 70% rule. So you take
Or 70% rule.
yeah, or rule. I mean, it shakes out
70
the same.
something.
70
Yeah.
something.
So you take the after repair value of the home. So when we're looking at distressed properties, we obviously need to forecast what it's going to be worth once it's repaired. So you take that number times 0.7 or 70%. And then from that number, you would subtract your estimated or approximate repair costs, which is the hardest part.
But here's the beautiful thing about this property, though. He said it's completely.
Let's finish real quick. And then that number would equal your maximum allowable offer price.
And then, well, real quick before we get back onto that story, because I feel like that'd be a good example to use. But like, how do you approximate?
That's
experience.
Experience. I think that's probably your best bet. Is I've done 25, 30 flips at this point. So like I've been through it, right?
Jeez.
I mean, how many have you done? Probably 20, same 25.
Similar. Yeah.
So you just you learn over time that an HVAC system where, maybe on my first deal ever in 2019, I would say it was only going to cost me $4,000 to replace it. Well, now I know that it's probably going to cost me $12,000 to redo a system.
Yeah.
We've used price per square foot. It's not always accurate.
You can, so somebody early on, a guy that mentored me in starting out in investing, said, look, your range of outcomes is typically going to take place anywhere between 45 and 65 per square foot to renovate a home.
Dollars per square
foot. Yeah. So basically if it's
for the repairs,
2,000 square foot home, if you don't need to do the roof, if you don't need to do the siding, like that, there's some of your bigger ticket items. Yeah. You're probably going to be closer to 2,000 times 45 on that house in particular, which I don't know.
How do you get edge? How do you get edge on that? Like how do you have something in your pocket that almost drives that down, so you can maybe pick up a home for a little bit more than the next guy?
Contractors.
Yeah, contractors.
Okay.
There's the price range on contractors is enormous.
Yeah.
Finding good ones is hard too. But I think that's like a big way to try and, like you said, the edge.
Or pick up the materials yourself.
Yeah. So the edge on that, right. So like,
dude, you do things I just don't understand.
This is his idea.
This dude's like moving out his tenants and getting reamed out in his garage. It's like, what is happening?
This guy's like sleeping in his garage right now. I don't even know where this guy's at anymore.
You're a grinder. I love it, man.
Yeah. So to Drew's point, like you basically leverage the fact that like, hey, this is how much your house, Mr. Client, your home has a bad sewer line. Yeah. It's going to cost me $12,000 to fix this sewer line.
Right.
My goal is to try to find somebody to do it for like 10.5. Right. Okay. Like I'm just small margins with us.
Oh
like,
yeah.
That's how we manage, and that's how.
But then that gives you opportunity. Either you're going to make that up on the sale, or you could compete for the property better because you can spend $2,500 more than the next guy.
Exactly. Yeah, like a home in Fulcroft, I'm probably not going to compete as much as if it were a home in Media, right? Like there's different areas. Not that like, I mean, look, I love Fulcroft and I think it's a great place to invest. We're looking at a property today in Fulcroft, but there's just different areas, right? There's A, B, and C, and you kind of have to break it out to where you feel comfortable, right? Like, wouldn't you agree with that?
Yeah. So what I wanted to talk about, like with this property, which is cool, he already said that it's completely renovated. He was like, I renovated it myself. He's like, so it doesn't need a lot of work. So
did he DIY it?
Yeah, it's probably
DIY.
It's probably a hack job.
Yeah. Houses are selling right in there for $225, like okay.
Average,
you know what I mean?
Right,
like
average condition.
So we go in at 150, 160, and then you sell it at 225. That's a $65,000 spread, right? Mm-hmm. For somebody who just wants to get out from underneath the property just because he doesn't want to kick his tenant out and he doesn't feel like dealing with it. Mm-hmm. So it's like, there's opportunities like that. And like, he was grateful when I was like, I will buy it for 160. He was like, are you serious? Like, he was like, take it. Like, and to him, like, I'm,
that means 145 in my book.
I know.
Yeah, but I mean, like, you got to think. Like, I know some people get it.
Let's get it back.
Yeah. This is where good cop, bad cop comes in.
But some people look at real estate investing.
Oh, sweet.
Yeah,
awesome.
some people look at real estate investing and they're like, oh, you took like that person could have sold it for 225, and it's like,
Well,
listen,
yeah.
I told him he could sell.
This
for
is a
225.
great like more macro point that you're just bringing up right there, because like in sales consulting, this was my biggest thing. Was there's like this spotlight, right? If there's only room for one person's voice and mind in a deal, right, at any given time. So, like if you are finding but things that one person really care about, you may not care about at all. You know what I mean?
Right.
So like for this guy, what he really cares about is offloading this property and having the anxiety of this property off of his plate.
And not having to be the one
Yeah.
that gets
Right.
the tenant out.
Well, you don't care about that, like.
I mean, I definitely care. I'm like,
But but you're in the game, like you've done this. You know how to deal with that.
Yeah.
There's a professional way to
Right.
run a business. And
Exactly.
if it's profitable and if it makes sense, then sure, we can work out the terms of
the
the lease.
logistics.
Right.
Yeah.
Right.
But the point is, you found something that he super cares about that is inconsequential to you.
Yeah.
Yep.
So now, so you can achieve that for him,
Yeah.
and you get a tremendous deal, for 120 on the property, right? But he's achieved his goal.
Yeah, right.
So you're not like pulling a fast one on that guy if you're solving his problem.
Yeah, exactly.
Like he's like, hey, you solve this problem for me. I was like, I will solve it for you.
Yeah.
Never underestimate, which I've learned in this business, that a seller wants an easy out.
Right.
Yeah.
And that's how you get deals. But you see it time and time again in real estate where, he wants out of that property. He wants out of it quick, and he'll take whatever. And that's how, when we offer people, we'll put it on the market for $100,000 more than we're going to offer you. And 9 times out of 10, they take the $100,000 less. And it's just because they want an easy transaction.
Yep.
Right.
Hit the easy button.
Exactly.
For
That's
sure.
what I say that.
They want the buy now button.
Yeah. A lot of
one click.
It is.
a lot of the homes that we buy are distressed in the sense of like the physical condition or just the amount of like a lot of times we buy hoarder homes, right? And like some of these
My man
homes,
Kamar comes in and
yeah,
solves your problem.
Kamar. Shout out to Kamar.
Yeah,
Love
Kamar's the
that dude. Do you know Kamar?
I actually just met him for the first time on Sunday.
He's a good
Yeah.
dude.
He's
man.
a beast.
Yeah.
He's got a truck. He's ready to work. He's reliable.
Kamar. What's his moving company?
K&K moving.
K&K.
Yeah.
You guys.
They got some sick shirts. Too.
They do clean outs.
it.
Like he does a lot of my clean out stuff.
Yeah.
Like I'll have him, like if you can't get a dumpster on site, so if you're a city renovator, you're a Philly house flipper, this guy is awesome. He comes in.
He's a beast.
He'll make your mess disappear, kind of like your guy.
Ahmed.
Yeah, we all have that guy in our life. It's
Yeah.
just like this is the best.
Oh, and he's an animal. He's all
Make
over
this
it.
disappear. I'll call Kamar at like noon, and he'll be like, "I'll be there at 1:30."
Yep.
Like you know what I mean? Just,
Oh yeah,
just
dude,
so it happens.
listen to this. I had this guy who called me and had 16 boxes, like huge boxes of socks up in New York that he wanted to sell down in Philly. And he's like, hey, I know you got a box truck. Like, is there any way that you could do that? I was down in Florida on like a company retreat. And I was like, I have no idea, but let me make a call. I called Kamar. He's like, oh yeah, I'll hop in the car. I'll go up to New York and go grab him.
Yeah.
What? Like,
People like that are so valuable.
He's
He's a
like
hustler, man.
literally, he's just like, I will make this happen for you.
Yeah, he's a hustler. He's a
You
hustler.
connect with people like that, you take care of them.
Oh yeah,
It's hard-
absolutely.
It's hard to
Yeah.
find them.
Yeah, well, he's got the box truck now. Yeah,
Yeah.
It's
Wait,
his.
so what's up with the socks though?
that was just, it was a very random thing, but
Yeah.
It sounds kind of weird. Just-
no, it's this guy, it's called PCNY. It's like they do a lot of like giveaways for inner city
okay,
kids.
gotcha.
But they had like 16 boxes that they couldn't give away. And they're like, we just got to get rid of them.
Right.
So
they-
you're like set on socks for the rest of your life.
I didn't take any now, but Kamar's got some.
Yeah. So one thing I wanted to just back up on real quick. So we were
Get off
talking.
the socks.
Yes. No. Vince is a fan of his socks. He wears them up to his knees most of the day. That's honestly, Christian, how old are you? 26. Yeah, so that's a 20 something. The high socks.
Yeah.
I'm rocking low
tell.
socks today.
We grew up in the day of like ankle socks we're in.
Yeah.
And now the young kids have
They got
like
them up high.
Yeah. Listen, I respect it.
The whites, dude.
Yeah. Let's go, Christian.
Go.
We need some B-roll of that picture.
Anyway, so my first, actually it was my second ever flip, right? Just so there, when we're talking about, the sellers and just wanting an easy transaction, like that does leave room, or it opens the door for unscrupulous people to come in and disinherit people. So
right.
typically, like as a licensed professional, the way that I used to go about this is like when I had a deal that I was getting at a discount, like I would always have an independent appraiser come in just so I can always fall back on the fact that like, hey, I didn't rip this person off, because there was a story of, I'm not going to say the address, I'm not going to name any names, but somebody local contractor was offering this person $55,000 for a house in Media. It was a rancher in Media.
Holy crap.
And the guy it was a different time. It was 2019.
Okay.
So the values weren't quite as high as they are. But he was like seconds away from signing. And then somebody else got involved. They brought me in, and I said, I almost said the name. I said, Mr. Client, I can probably give you over $100K more than this other person.
That's crazy.
So I had an independent third-party appraiser come out, and he said, look, it's probably worth about 170. I ended up writing it for 165.
Yeah. Wow.
Just because I said you can leave all your stuff, I'll clean it out.
Yeah.
Leave it in any condition you want. Right. But I gave him, he got an extra $110,000.
Yeah, that is awesome. That's awesome.
It would have been highway robbery if this guy would have got that.
Well, and it's a great clarification to the point we were making earlier, where it's like but it's also brand. Like it ties into this. Like you're playing a longer game. That guy, if he's comparing, if he's got a friend who's selling their house down the street, who's he going to call to sell the house to, right? This other guy, especially if he finds out that like he could have gotten a lot more for it, like that's good. It's good person thing to do, like first and foremost, but then it's also good for business. Things that are good for other people are good for business.
Yeah, sure. For sure. It's a small world in this business.
Right. It really is. Things get back to you quickly.
Sure.
Yeah.
Back to your company.
Mm-hmm.
So how long did you own that before? Is this the one you sold?
Yeah, the media company is the one I sold. So there's a cool story, just on the same note of people. And Christian knows her. She works in our software company now as well. She works on everything that I do. But she was working as a front desk clerk at Marriott down in Florida. Got furloughed during COVID, and I was getting between 200 and 300 emails a day, and I'm like, I cannot keep up with this level of traffic. So I found her on Upwork. I contracted her for 5-10 hours a week. This is getting to answer your question.
Yeah, I'm all ears.
But she was like $25 an hour, but she was working 50 hours a week, getting paid $250 a week. But she's just like, this is an opportunity. I'm going to grind this out. Like we're going to build something with this. So I later found out that she was working that hard. Like she wasn't even telling me. She's just like, this is an opportunity. Like I want to make a name for myself with this.
Dude, this guy has so many good people working for him. We'll get to that too, but
I don't want to interrupt the story either, but
it's crazy.
It's insane, bro.
I just read a book, Good to Great.
Yes. Jim Collins.
Yeah.
So good.
And the big takeaway I took from that was first who, then what. Mm-hmm. It's like, get all the talent, no matter where they fit in, on board, which sounds like you did.
Yeah. And Steve Jobs calls it his 100. Yeah. Where it's like, if he's got 100 phenomenal people around him, which he did with Apple and built the biggest business in history. Yeah. Well, not in history, but at that time.
Right.
I don't know, NVIDIA beat him out, right?
I think now.
NVIDIA is crazy.
Yeah,
did they do the 10-1 stock split?
Yeah.
Yeah, I think they did. Now it's down to 100 and something.
Dang.
Yeah.
Anyway.
Yeah.
It circles back to the people point, and it's best for business to take care of your people, but it's 100%. Also just like it's worth building if you're taking care of people. Like it really is worth building, and it's something you can be proud of. There's a lot of ways to make money. You could grind it out in a hospital, 16 hours a day selling trauma equipment. You could take care of people. There's a lot of different ways. But for her, so she and she built SOPs on how to handle all my stuff. Like I didn't ask for any of this.
Savage.
She's building standard operating procedures on how to handle my email, how to handle the call schedules, building out templated agendas for all types of different calls that I have, just unprompted. She's every week. I'm coming on to my weekly call with her, and she's like, "Hey, let me show you what I put together."
It's amazing.
It's amazing. Well, so what's crazy and the cool thing with this is I was like, okay, I need somebody. The media company was starting to take off. We were really building a good company. So I was like, I need somebody to build this. So she became basically the COO or operations manager of the media company. And we built that from, zero in probably mid-February of 2020. And then in start of 2021, we were probably at about 500K a year of recurring revenue from services. And it was just her and I,
Wow.
and I was spending an hour and a half a week on it. And she was doing everything else, it was just unbelievable. And then, then fast forward till, she's building that out. We're also incubating companies. Like we bought the software company at the end of 2021, which we'll talk about if we've got time. I know I'm a little long-winded, but, and then, she helped me build the party rental business. She was deeply involved in buying the real estate. I think there's a couple others that I'm not thinking of that I'll think about, but she's grinding out. She just got her real estate. She's out in Colorado. She just got licensed as an agent, just on the side. She's just
awesome. Get some Airbnbs beast out there, dude.
Yeah, she's a beast, absolute beast. But she, so then we sold that at the beginning of this year of 2024. So, but we sold it to our branding website agency, and then we kept equity. She bought a house out of that exit, so her first house. So like she went from front desk clerk furloughed at Marriott, and she was doing some group events. She was like on her way up there as well. I don't want to say that she wasn't grinding there either. She was on her way up, but 2020 happened, and then she just dominated for like 3-4 years with me. And now is like my right-hand person in the software company as well. I mean, she's just like dominant. It's really cool.
That's an awesome story.
Yeah, no, that's great, dude.
Yeah. So we sold that at the beginning of this year. January 5th.
Actively looked in to sell it?
So I was looking for a CEO of the business because like I had bought, like, and I kind of glossed over this, but I bought at the end of 2021, my biggest client, my dad's software company, much harder being the son, and he had a partner in it. So, but I bought it from them. It was a struggling business, losing a lot of money. Bought it from them.
Did you buy it with the proceeds from selling?
I leveraged personal. I hadn't sold the marketing company, but I leveraged all the assets.
Gotcha.
So at the beginning of this year, we had really been starting to take off in the software company. We were, growing between 20 and 40% year over year, our ARR. And, at 500K of revenue, you can grow a lot higher percentages. But that business, when we bought it, was doing about 2.1 we're in ARR, annual recurring revenue in software. And we just hit 2.9, 2.5 years later in recurring revenue. And it's like 5-year contracts. So like, it's not going away.
It's going to be there for a while.
Yeah, it's going to be there for a long time. And it's like the biggest brands that you can think of, like a lot of Fortune 500, a lot of manufacturers use our software. But all that to say, I was getting like pulled in 2 directions. I had 2 hungry beasts to feed, with the software and the media company. So I'm like, I need somebody to feed this beast because I really got to focus on this. My media company, it was great opportunity, but it's like 3-month contracts for like $15K. I could spend the same time closing a $195,000 a year contract for a 3-year deal. So it's like the same time.
It's
my
obvious.
Opportunity vehicle needs to be here. I need to do that, but I can't just forego this opportunity vehicle. So that turned into one of the guys who we were interviewing for CEO. He's like, I'll buy it off you and just keep you on the cap table. So we have an equity interest in the business still.
You don't spend any time on it?
Zero time.
One,
so I have lunch with him twice a year.
Nice.
To go over.
Congratulations.
Thanks. Yeah,
that's
great.
Awesome.
Yeah, it's great.
You went from medical device sales, starting that company, to getting bought out and still having a piece of equity.
Yep.
And then now it's passive. Right?
Yeah.
Truly passive.
Truly
Yeah.
passive.
Truly passive.
I just said passive again.
Yeah, I love passive.
Buzzword.
Passive income.
Yeah.
Anytime somebody's like, "Oh, here's this great rental property with
Like, that's
it's
not
passive income," it's like, dude, you are so.
It's like, dude, you were just slinging drywall there last week.
Yeah,
It's not passive.
Vince is passive on our Albemarle property that we're working on.
When you say you
Complete opposite.
leveraged everything, was that a scary time for you?
Like HELOCs, how are we leveraging?
So personal loans,
Right.
drain the savings accounts.
Gotcha,
Yeah.
understood.
Yeah, it's like it was intense, and like a lot of personally guaranteed loans on the assets of everything.
Sure.
So
Not everybody
it was
would do
freaking
that.
Scary.
Not everybody would do that.
The
too.
business was losing $250,000 a year,
Right.
that I was buying. So it was like leveraging everything to buy a failing
losing-
business.
Right.
So where would you say your risk tolerance falls? Like as an entrepreneur, like
I'm so glad you asked that question. Seriously, that's like the best question.
Yeah.
Because from the outside in, that sounds stupid. You know what I mean? Like call it out, but it is what it is. But there are ways to mitigate your risk that you can take advantage of that no one necessarily sees. So like they were a big client of mine, like, and I was selling their software as a consultant. So, and I knew all the people inside and out. I knew the product inside and out, and I had visibility into their books, you know?
Right.
So it's like looking at that, it's like, it's got good bones. It's like a phenomenal product that is incredibly sticky. We rose prices by 10x and people are still getting 100x return on it.
Wow.
There was zero marketing being done, you know, effective marketing being done. And the team was just like little rock stars. I mean, like the intern that they brought on rewrote the entire product in 2 years as a college student. Like the people in that business are just phenomenal. So it was like, I'm going to bring in 10 people, a phenomenal product, and a very sticky customer base. Well, that's the only 3 things I need to have a stable business. I just got to figure out how to run a profitable P&L off of that, you know? So day one, we were profitable, like, and we've been profitable every day since. You know, it's just like, take those 3 things. Those are your 3 assets, right? Like you've got a good land, decent bones of a property in a great location. And now we're just going to gut it and make it a beautiful property, and it'll be cash flowing in, you know, no time.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? So
you were confident.
Yes. Yeah. Well, and my risk mitigator, and like, I would say that I'm very conservative. However, that story is not a conservative play, but the reason that that's so conservative is like, I have the relationships with every customer. I have the relationships with every employee, and I know the business inside and out. And I had a model that showed how I could flip the script completely on the P&L, you know, day one. So it was like, there's very little risk in that.
I love that you're talking about that, because it translates to real estate, right? Like when I know I can go out and underwrite a deal, like people look at me from the outside and they're like, you bought that property without seeing it. Yeah. Well, I know that a sewer line is going to cost me $8 to $10 grand. Yeah. I know that an HVAC system, I know a roof's going to cost me $6 grand, right? Like I already know all this stuff. So like, I feel like it's more microscopic. Like I can control the environment more.
Yep.
And exactly. I feel like you're talking about that. Like obviously we can't control the macroeconomics of the world. There's
existential threats that you're not in control of, but you can't sweat that. Like that's not, you need to know where they are and have some sort of plan and not put your family in bankruptcy, you know, as best you can.
Yeah.
But what's your existential threat as an employee? You get fired tomorrow.
Yeah.
Right. So like you literally have zero income tomorrow.
Exactly.
What's more risky?
Right.
You know, like I've got 80 customers locked in for 3-year deals in this thing.
Right.
You've got an at-will employment contract with your employer. It's like, who's taking the risk here? You know what I mean?
Right. Like
that's a clip right there, dude.
one bad quarter, and then they're cutting the accounts receivable department, and unfortunately you fall into that, and now you're on Indeed with getting your unemployment check, and
and you guys know that sales is a superpower in business. The more that you can increase the top line, the more you can make mistakes throughout the entire business, because you've got money on the table to make your mistakes.
Client acquisition, right?
Yeah, exactly. That's the name of the game. So I think you guys are commercially oriented. You're commercial CEOs, you're commercial owners of businesses. Like that is in and of itself a superpower, you know? So like $250,000 is 4 deals for me in that business. So like I'm losing $250,000. What does it take for me to sign 4 deals? Well, I've been averaging 12 a year. So it's like, there's no risk, you know. I just am tight around the implementation of the third of the clients that I know I'll bring in. I've got a full pipeline, you know what I mean. It's just like
sick.
Yeah, it's freaking awesome.
So let's go a little deeper.
Let's go. I don't drink coffee.
Get this guy some more coffee. Let's go.
So contingency. Let's just say, and again, life happens. Things happen in life where sometimes we can't control the outcome. Could you remove yourself from your business and it would still function now?
It's a Thursday and I haven't spent a single day.
So you know what I mean? That's the true definition of success for me. It's like when you can when your business can function or run on its own.
Let me take that one step further, because I think you're right, but like your business has like Vince in it, right? So like he's achieving what success is for him in your business. You know what I mean?
Right.
So like that, the beautiful thing about stepping away from your business is you've provided an environment for a group of people to achieve success for them.
Sure.
You know what I mean? Which enables you,
platform.
right? What enables you, exactly, which enables you to step away. So like we have 15 people in our software business, and they are achieving what is success for them. Like they're well taken care of. They're motivated. They're excited.
They got health insurance.
Right.
Long and short-term disability,
Yeah.
3.5% match 401k.
Yeah.
But like that's why I can step away, is because
Vince is going to apply.
That's what I told him. I was like, dude, you need a sales rep?
but we'll talk about it later. Just kidding, guys. But that's like why I think that's why I feel comfortable stepping away as well, is because we've got 15 people achieving success for them. You know what I mean?
Yeah,
and
absolutely.
So that I think that's what's super rewarding for me, is to just be a steward of this business. Previously, people were not able to achieve success in a business that's losing $250,000 a year.
Are you, I mean, it sounds like it's like you flipped the business. You didn't flip.
That's exactly it.
Yeah. Are you going to look for more opportunities like that? This one just lined up perfectly, that you knew everything.
Yeah.
about it.
Yes. I mean, man, there's so many stories. We could talk about, dude.
You know, we could talk about.
Oh my gosh.
Let's talk about the the Toro.
We'll circle back to that idea.
Is that the rental cars?
Gosh,
Yeah,
Vince.
that's what he asked. He said, "Look, make sure you ask Steven about the Toro."
Yeah. Well, so that was just a. So there's tax evasion, there's tax deferment, right? You don't want to be a tax evader, but you do want to take advantage of the tax code. Turo is a great opportunity for that.
All right.
Well, that's probably a whole nother episode, bro. Like,
A fleet of Teslas.
because there's like probably there's 4 to I mean you guys know this in real estate, cost segregation, depreciation schedules. Like there's so many different things that as an entrepreneur you can take advantage of that as an employee you can't. So like that would be super interesting for entrepreneurs to hear about, but we'll tease that.
Yeah.
Yeah.
You got a lot of ideas. Yeah.
It's just it's an invite back. So.
Yeah, there you go. I'm locking in staying power
Part 2.
on the CG Realty podcast.
I'm sorry, I didn't mean to take us off track. That what we were
Anyway,
talking about.
Vince, where were we?
Yeah.
Come on, Vince. You were talking about flipping a business. That's
Yes. Okay. You asked me if that's going to happen again. So like the cool thing, I feel like what I wanted to do in starting in 2020 was get a taste of a bunch of different things. So started a business, sold a business, like the same business, started multiple other businesses and multiple other industries to kind of get a taste for what I like. Bought a business. We've, got it valued. It's 12x the value in 2.5 years.
I have a question about that.
Yeah.
Who did that? Who values your business and how do they value it?
So there's a bunch of different ways. Discounted cash flows is the best way for a small business. That's a small business being like under 3 million in top line revenue. 3 to 10, you've at 3 million in a lot of businesses. And I don't know, maybe you could comment on this in real estate, but there's like, you've got enough money on the table where you can have like a good management leadership team. Like you've got enough money on the table in most industries where you've got a leadership team that can take on a lot of the responsibilities that they say entrepreneurs wear a bunch of different hats. Well, if you have a director of finance, a director of people, a director of, operations, you're not wearing as many hats. You know what I mean? So at 3 million, you can kind of start to afford those people. So but under that, it's really discounted cash flows. Yeah, and they call it sales discretionary or seller discretionary earnings, SDE. And then 3 to 10 million, it's EBITDA, earnings before interest, taxes, depreciation, and amortization.
How's discounted cash flow work? Does anyone?
It's the time value of money. So they'll look at we'll project out modest growth in both top line and your expenses over the next 5 to 10 years.
Yeah, so we'll
take a percentage of that cash flow at each year and then attribute that percentage to the purchase price this year. So say you're making $100,000 a year for the next 5 years. Well, that money in 5 years from now, is worth less than now, right? Like that's the time value of money.
Right.
So if you had $100,000 now, you can make 12% in real estate, right? Yeah. So, or maybe more. But in 5 years from now, you lost all that time to make 12%. So they'll discount the cash flow of that 5 year, 100 grand down to maybe 20%. So like you can buy that 100 grand that hypothetically you'll make in year 5 for 20K today. And that's a discounted cash flow, Yep. But you have to execute obviously to get that 100K in 5 years from now. And it's really tough to like, just look at, multiples on your profit under 3 million. Cause it's like, you've got to do a lot, to get the cash flow, so.
You know a lot about accounting. Did you, how do you
spent so much money on CPAs, tax attorneys, and me and my director of finance call it the MBA on the streets.
Right.
Yeah, right.
I never went to business school. I've never sat in a business class in my life.
But you know money and you've had
right.
to
Well,
transact money.
Well, this is the other thing. This is your risk mitigation question.
Right.
It's like I've got to. Like my whole life is on the line.
Sure.
Like I've got 2 kids under 2. Like I want a house to put them in. You know what I mean? So like I've got to know this stuff.
Right.
You know what I mean?
Right.
Like the MBA student, who's like playing video games and drinking beer on the weekends, she's got no reason.
Skin in the game.
Yes, exactly. So I mean, I'm a big fan of getting your MBA on the streets. Like I'm in this business.
Dude,
it's
it
losing
interests me so
$250,000.
much. I love learning tax strategies and stuff.
Discounted cash flow doesn't seem like that advantageous for the seller if I'm listening to it.
Exactly. Well, so that's why people wait.
Yeah. So
and that's why it's a distressed property concept as well.
Gotcha.
Like if you can find an underdeveloped area in South Philly 10 years ago, right? You're like, okay, like this city's moving this direction, right? I can buy something here, and with my edge, that's cheap as crap and get it on the come up. It's the same idea with a business, it's like you can get it cheap as crap, but that it's on the come up in an industry or you have that visibility. So it's just buying assets, you know what I mean?
That's interesting.
Yeah.
Yeah. I did not know any of that.
So between like over 3 million, you can start to look at EBITDA, and that's like publicly available information based off of like Apple. Like you can evaluate Apple stock. It's 20x EBITDA, but it's because they have such a stable business. They're not going anywhere. So like their multiples, as you grow, your multiples on your profit are much bigger because the likelihood of you continuing to make that profit after purchasing is much greater. You know what I mean? So like the multiples on my business now are required on me operating in the business. So if somebody bought my business and didn't buy me, the likelihood of them having that cash flow in the future is very low. But if I have like a stellar VP, a group of 5 VPs, and I can walk out of the business tomorrow, then that's a very valuable business because somebody could buy that and replace the owner and nothing's going to change in that business. So now you've got a multiple on that business much bigger than like if I was like the guy.
Right.
Yeah, for sure.
Yeah. Then you get into the key man and
Key
having to
man
stick
risk.
around for 5 years like that.
Yeah. Yep. Or it's good to great, like the hit by a bus,
Right. We have, I know that a lot of people that I know personally have sold their business. They always get hooked into like, oh, you got to stay here for 5 years, or 4 years, whatever it is.
Yeah. Yeah. We sold the marketing company. Vanessa and I, the girl that I was talking about, lady I was talking about, we were hooked in for 6 months.
Right.
That's pretty common.
Just to ease the transition.
Right. Exactly. Yeah. You don't want to lose customers. You don't want it to go to zero. But dude, the getting over 3 million in most industries in the EBITDA, like you're looking at, sometimes they'll do it on top line, sometimes they'll do it on bottom line, your full income compared to your profit. But like you see that incrementally increase. So you see that like roll up strategy, right? So that this is one of the things I've been interested in. Like a book of really high valuable real estate could sell more for the individual pieces, I would assume, right?
Yeah.
Is that right?
In the package.
Yeah.
Yeah. Sure.
If it's like a well-run package, it's the same concept. Like if you were to buy a bunch of businesses that were similar, roll them up into a package, you have the EBITDA arbitrage, they called it, where you've got like, okay, this business on its own may be selling for discounted cash flows. It's under $1 million. But if you bundle that in with 4 other $1 million businesses, now I'm getting 3 times top line. So it goes from like, I could buy each of these businesses for 300 to 500K and then sell the grouping of businesses after an integration strategy for 12 million, and that's private equity. That's like,
It's like force and appreciation. Yeah.
Exactly.
Yeah. heard a little about that. That's interesting too.
Yeah, it's fascinating. And so back to answering your question, will I do it again? Yeah.
Absolutely.
I'm loving it, you know? And I'm 31 years old. So it's like, I feel like I'm just getting started, you know, and that's the name of our podcast. Going out with.
Good.
Episode 1 drops today, right, Christian?
That's pretty good. Just getting started.
Yeah.
Is it really?
Yeah.
It dropped at
9 o'clock. Oh,
Oh,
cool.
you guys recorded a podcast before this?
No, we recorded a couple weeks ago.
Okay.
Yeah,
Cool.
but
And it's called Just Getting Started?
yeah.
Dude, where's my invite?
I know. But we'll get you there. We'll get
memo
you
in there.
Yeah.
They're like,
CG's just getting started. Rob told me some of the vision.
Yeah.
I know how are you guys on time here? I know
We're good. I mean,
Yeah.
we'll wrap it up in like 10 minutes or so.
Well, let's flip the script. Let's hear a little bit about how you guys got started with CG Realty.
Well, Drew and I knew each other from high school. We started out, so I guess we'll start at like 2011, right? You were kind of doing your own thing. You were doing hardwood flooring install. I was in finance. I just got my stockbroker's license. I worked as a financial advisor. I kind of just lost interest in that, you know.
Yeah.
It just wasn't for me. I did very well at it. I just decided to take a step back. Always intrigued by flipping houses, renovating properties, investing in real estate, but just never had the vision or the knowledge base to understand like how like that. It's actually really easy to buy properties. You just use other people's money. I thought you needed your own money.
Yeah, use mine.
Right. I used Steven's money. But again, so I had a conversation, in 2017 with Drew, and he was like, I just got my real estate license. He was working for a brokerage, boutique brokerage like us, very similar structure. And he kind of just said, hey, you should sell. Like, I think I asked you about commissions. I was like,
Probably.
do you sell real estate? And he was like, yeah, man, I made 3% on I was like, that's pretty good money. Like, you make 14 grand selling a house.
Yeah.
So I got my real estate license. I joined Drew's brokerage, or where he was at the time.
How does that work between like working as an agent for a brokerage or owning a brokerage?
So you're basically just a 1099 contract employee.
Yeah.
Through the brokerage.
Okay.
The brokerage truly is just a platform for people to
He
work.
loves that word, man.
I do.
You're right.
I
that's
really
what
do.
I'm telling
So
you.
really all you need is a broker of record,
Okay.
someone with a brokerage license,
Okay. And how do you get that?
more classes and testing
Okay.
and some experience.
Okay.
So our broker, when he got his, I don't think they required all that. I think he said he got his brokerage license like right away.
Oh,
It's
yeah.
another test, a couple
Yeah.
more classes, but now it's a little more complicated, I think. Neither of us have ours actually.
Yeah, we're just owners.
A guy who recruited us left the brokerage that he was at, and we reverse recruited him.
Yeah. Nice.
He's like, yeah, you want to be a broker and start a brokerage? He's
That's
like,
awesome.
yeah. So
Look,
he's
this
great.
guy has just a tremendous amount of knowledge, right?
Yeah.
Drew and I, we've been around for 6 and 7 years. Like you couldn't add up both of our knowledge bases
No.
to equal his. I mean, he knows.
He's an integral part of CG Realty and getting us started and having knowledge that we didn't
like he's
have.
just been through it, right?
Yeah.
The best experience is real life experience, and he's
Get in
been
the
through
game.
it.
And he's
NBA of the streets.
And he's a broker in 4 states, which allowed us to get Jersey, Delaware, Maryland. So that was that's
huge.
unique in itself.
Yeah, that's huge.
So yeah,
So you guys got connected from that.
2017.
Yeah.
I'll speed up the story.
Yeah.
2019, we said, dude, we should start a team. And I think we just snap agreed. Like
Yeah.
it was
Yeah,
a
it was
phone
pretty
call.
quick.
I remember it was a Friday late morning, so like 11:45.
we already had this building,
Yeah, Drew owned this building.
which we didn't know. I really didn't know what to do with.
Yeah. So you had an entrepreneurial seizure.
Yeah.
That's good.
So we just, out of necessity, we just started a business.
We did the reverse thing. We didn't.
We had a building.
We had
but
a building.
I guess we got to start a business out of
Put
this
something
thing.
in it.
That's like a true real estate.
Yeah,
Dude,
we're
I got
like-
a building. I got to use it.
Oh, dude, we have that problem. We own a bar in Ridley that we need to figure out what to use it for. So we might be starting another business soon. But anyway, so Drew's awesome. I couldn't ask for a better business partner, and I think we work really well together.
Extremely well.
We took some risk. We didn't really have any idea what we were doing. Now we do. Now we're starting to gain some traction here.
Yep.
It's funny how that happens over time. But we started a team. We bought some Zillow leads. We had like 4 or 5 agents that were with us. we ended up just wanting to separate wholly from the other place we were at. They were in a different county. We wanted to be in Delaware County. We did that at March 1st, 2021.
Yep.
Now 3 years later, we have the title company. We are full-time investors. We have fun, man.
That's awesome.
We like to buy real estate and we like to sell real estate. We're trading real estate.
We like
right
to
now.
see young guys like you guys buy real estate. You know.
Yeah. Awesome.
Like we're at a point now where we're trading up. Like Drew and I own a duplex in Upper Darby. It's in a, it's in a probably like I would say like a lower income neighborhood. I mean, are we allowed to say that? Do I have to edit that?
You always put letters on them. CD area.
Yeah, it's probably in a C area. It's been somewhat of a struggle to manage the property.
To 1031 exchange.
So we're 1031.
Long story short, this dude's taking forever to spit it out. I'm just kidding.
Oh my gosh, edit that out.
1031. You're never invited back, by the way. 1031 exchange into a property that I actually in 2017 I met a lawyer there to talk about possible bankruptcy. Now
That story is amazing.
Now I'm going to be buying the building. Like we have it under contract. It's pretty cool. 2017 because like things just kind of
the building that lawyer's in.
Yeah. So in
that's
2017. Crazy, I kind of stopped. I stopped working in 2016, so I kind of ran out of money. And I was like getting my real estate license. I'm like, oh man, this is bad, right? I had bills to pay. So the attorney actually talked me out of filing for bankruptcy.
Wow.
Now he's going to be a tenant.
That's amazing, cool. Dude.
Yeah, full circle.
That's pretty legit. Cool. That is awesome.
He was like, it's only like 40 grand. He's like, I think you're overreacting. I'm like, pull the plug. I got to shut it down.
It goes to show what you can accomplish in 5 years just taking action.
Yeah,
I think it's so funny. There was only 40 grand.
How quickly? Well, that was like the world to me back then.
Oh yeah, dude.
40 grand. I'm like, I could pay that in contractors on a Friday afternoon.
Yeah, seriously.
It's like,
yeah. Dude, that's crazy. Man.
I can see Gerard just walking in there.
Just like
so defeated.
I got to file for bankruptcy. Where do we get started? And he's like, dude, you have $40,000 in credit card debt. It's not that bad.
He's like, the average American is $40,000 in debt with credit cards.
Right.
Like, you're good.
I love that you went all the way. That is true. You went all the way there.
I'm just like, dude, and it's so
threw in the towel.
It's so funny.
I'm done.
I have this building under contract now. I'm like, dude, this is full circle. It's a
that
cool
is
story.
cool. That is cool. That is awesome. Is that the one you were telling me about? That's like across the street from the courthouse.
Yes.
Or something?
Yeah. You could. Yeah, you can see the front doors to the courthouse.
That's awesome. Yeah. That's some good staying power tenants there.
Right. That's an A property. So we're trading up from a C to an A, in our opinion. Right.
Yeah. Oh yeah. That's awesome. Doesn't have to be. So that's commercial. It doesn't have to be like for like. How do you do that?
Both rental.
Oh, got it.
Actually, there's a unique thing there, which I didn't know about 1031, is this building's owned part in someone's name, 50% in someone's name, 50% in an LLC. So when I talked to the 1031 company, I'm like, how's that going to work?
Yeah.
And because we were trying to buy that business to save transfer tax.
Yeah.
Yep.
Which is significant at the price of this building.
Yeah.
So she's like, you can buy companies through a 1031 exchange as long as your company buys that company. So we own this place in Upper Darby in Campbell Gerard.
Nice.
Can I get the name of that person?
Yeah, it's called like 1031 Exchange Corp. They're actually created it by a guy from media.
So you can't go from a personal, like I can't 1031 one of my personal residence.
You wouldn't need to do that anyway.
Why? All my properties.
Talk to your accountant.
But all my properties are in personal name.
Oh, I'm saying it's a good question. I don't know. I was meaning that if your personal residence, you're not going to pay taxes.
Oh, I didn't mean personal residence.
But as far as 1031 and in a name, I don't know. But we can buy an LLC with our 1031 through the 1031 exchange.
Yeah, that's cool.
As long as that LLC is owning real estate.
That's a good question too.
Yeah,
this scenario worked out. I don't know if you can buy companies.
Legit.
That's a good. But like Campbell,
that'd be an awesome way to.
Campbell Gerard can buy 123 Main Street LLC.
I doubt that that's allowed.
Instead of
that would be sick.
Just sell your properties in 1031.
Buy a single family house and turn it into like a freaking awesome business that you own. That'd be awesome.
It has to
pay no taxes.
I know it. It has to be rented for a year.
Okay.
So that's why you can't 1031 a flip.
Oh, I see.
Oh, wait,
like
what? I thought you had to own it.
Rented or owned?
Well, that's because
have
it's
to
the
own it
difference
for 2
between
years.
ordinary income and cap gains, right?
Yeah.
You got to bring an accountant on here.
Yeah.
Yeah, we should.
She had all the answers. Well, she
I
said we could have
Replace
her
me for an
on.
accountant.
I wish I had
Sean
an
Godwin.
accountant on my shoulder that just followed me around.
I
was like,
do. I was just messaging him
Yeah.
on my way here.
Yeah.
You know, we got to get Sean would be phenomenal on this podcast.
Yeah, that would be great. Actually.
He just I mean, he takes me to school probably once a week.
That's amazing. That's what you need.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Cool. So that's how CG Realty was born, huh?
Yeah.
Yeah.
But it seems like you guys got like, and I don't know if this is just like a real estate thing. I feel like everyone in real estate just has their hands in like so many different pots. You know what I mean? You got like the title company over here. You got the brokerage.
Yeah.
You know, you got like your flip game. You got like your, long-term hold game.
It's all real estate related though.
You've got an equity in a contracting business.
I
Just
would
like you
say
got your
not
hand-
enough. I would say not enough agents do have their hand.
Oh, really?
That's a good point.
Right.
Everything.
And that's kind of what we try to teach here,
Yeah.
right?
Okay.
Like there's the underlying heartbeat of this brokerage is investing. Like,
Yeah.
you don't want to be on the hamster wheel of earning commissions for the rest of your life.
Right.
Not that there's any. I love commission. Like,
Yeah.
I'm not.
It's great.
Vince, what's it like cold calling every morning?
It's not great.
You don't want to be on that hamster wheel.
Right. It's a roller coaster. It goes up and down. You're gonna have good months.
And we don't have
months.
any retirement, right? So, you could do a SEP. There's things to do,
Right.
but invest let's not reinvent the wheel, right? Most millionaires are made through real estate.
Yeah.
Right. So it's
Yeah,
one of the reasons I got into the game.
The money's good and people forget that it runs out if you stop. And, we want to try and make sure people,
I see.
invest in real estate along the road
Yeah.
of making
Yeah.
money through real estate.
Yeah.
And then the tax
that-
benefits that come along
Yeah.
with depreciation, cost segregation.
Yep.
Like, there's tools that.
Especially as a real estate professional, cost segregation is phenomenal.
Are you a real estate professional?
I want to be.
Yeah.
I just need to figure out how to spend 50% of my time on real estate.
Just write up those mortgage documents that I sent you the other day. I spent about 6 hours doing that, and the house isn't even going to close on time. So that's the risk you
Oh,
run.
yeah.
Yeah.
So now I always understood why, like, Frank's like, well, there's a $400 fee for me writing these documents.
Yeah.
That's why.
Now I understand why. 'Cause I was just like, this guy's getting me for this. Like,
Yeah.
you have to go through and read every line. You ever read a mortgage?
I just did. The ones
Yeah.
you sent me, it was
Yeah.
terrible.
I got like one page in and I was like, all right, dude.
Yeah, I get it.
Do you want the house or not?
This is why there's lawyers. You just send it to them.
Yeah.
But
Yeah, dude, that's one thing. Just another takeaway in business: don't underspend on lawyers. I've saved hundreds of thousands of dollars just having good lawyers. Like, even if you don't want to overspend ridiculous amounts, but like spending 10, 20, 30, 40K on a lawyer could save you millions.
Right.
You know what I mean? So like you got to see that as investment. I think it's a necessary evil, but
yeah, it's like protection.
yeah, exactly. Yeah.
It's an insurance policy.
Yeah, you don't need them till you do.
Right.
Exactly.
And then you need them.
I feel like they should change the name of agreements to disagreements. Like, since when you're agreeing with somebody, do you reference your agreement?
Yeah.
You know what I mean?
Right.
Like, you're only going to reference it when you're like, okay, we're not at terms here. We're at odds. Let's go look at our agreement.
Yeah.
That's
a good point.
Yeah. But to your point, I think one of the things that I've been thinking a lot about, I want to like do like a full segment of content about this, but I talk about like the triangle of money. If you've got like, up top here, kind of a triangle on its side, you've got one circle here, you got a circle here on the top of the triangle. So you guys, are you doing audio on this as well, or just video?
No, we have audio too.
Okay. Are you gonna like put it on an Apple podcast?
Oh, just straight audio.
Yeah. Or is everyone who's gonna watch this be able to see
Probably
my
video
hands?
clips.
It
Yeah.
should be both though. We should set it out both.
Yeah,
All right, so I'll be more descriptive.
If you could help with that. Yeah.
I'll be more descriptive on what I'm about to say, because I was just going to use my hands, but
We are hooked
for
up
people
on
just
this, right?
listening.
Okay, cool.
All right, so you've got a circle at the top, you got a circle kind of on the right offset, and you got a circle at the bottom, right? So if you personally are that circle in the bottom, right? And then the circle at the top is kind of like where you can spend time, say it's a job, say that's, whatever you're spending your time for dollars. It's kind of like the line between those two circles is a trade, time for dollars. The circle on the right-hand side, kind of offset, would be your assets. So if you're spending your time building your assets, as opposed to cold calling to get leads. You're building time, to build your assets. Those assets are pulling the source of money, right? Regardless of whether or not this time, line is cut or not. The money will continue to flow from assets because you're not trading time for those assets. You're just building that whole book of business. You're building that whole, balance sheet, really, of that's going to be paying you money. So if you can spend all your time building assets, that doesn't go away.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? But if you're spending all your time trading your hours for money, it's like you will never be able to stop trading your time for money.
Right.
You will never be able, like if you take a 1099, if you take a vacation, you're not getting paid. If your only source is your time, you know what I mean?
Right.
So I think that is awesome. And like you said, real estate, it's assets, real assets, you know what I mean? It's like a
Tangible.
great, it's something you can wrap your hand around. Literally, it's not a stock, which is technically an asset, but you're not like wrapping your hand around that. You know what I mean? And then it's also beholden to somebody else. There's forced equity, there's tax savings, there's appreciation, there's amortization on loans, there's writing off your interest, there's costs. There's like so many things for this asset compared to just trading your time for money.
Borrow tax-free money against your primary residence.
Yeah,
People don't realize the primary residence loan is like tax-free money.
Oh yeah.
Amazing,
It's a loan. Obviously I'm going to pay it back to myself, but
well, in debt, I always call debt a very sharp knife.
Right.
If you're going to use debt, make sure you're holding the knife from the handle.
Right.
Because you could easily grab that thing by the blade and cut your hand off. You know what I mean? You'll end up, I'm throwing it in. I'm going to go bankrupt. That could easily happen.
Great clip.
Yeah.
That's
I mean, really, it is. It's a great way to refer to it too, because that's very dangerous.
Yeah, but try and cut a tomato with your hand. You know, it's like it's a very useful tool.
Yeah, use it right.
To overextend the metaphor here, but
it's hard to grow without it.
Yeah.
I mean, it's leverage.
I'm just envisioning a B-roll clip to like a tomato, like one of those clips with like a machete hitting a watermelon.
The ninja.
And then the guy, the Indian go, this two halves of the watermelon.
But what's crazy, and it's the way I look at it.
That one, right?
It's like,
got to put that in there.
So basically, I have 5 properties.
Yeah.
Right. All in all, I think it's like
Let's freaking go, Vince.
But to my point, I think it's worth like 1.3 million. And that's right now, right? So 30 years, that I get that's 1.3 million. That's with no appreciation.
With no appreciation whatsoever.
And then you got to factor in all the tax savings. All the taxes that I'll be saving
depreciate over the course of time.
And people look at cash flow like,
cash flow
is
but there
great.
Still is cash flow on top of it.
Yeah, and there's still cash flow, which is great, right?
Yeah.
But the tax savings is awesome.
Yeah.
And then the appreciation is freaking hopefully phenomenal if you're buying in the right areas. Yeah. So it's like
tenants paying off your loan.
Tenants paying off your loan. Yep. Don't get me wrong, like there might be a bump in the road here and there. But
what are you doing when you got a bump in the road? You're spending time, right?
Exactly.
And that's the whole point.
Yeah.
You're spending time on your asset.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? Like in that you're not spending time calling and trying to get.
I'd rather spend
time
on the asset for sure, though.
Exactly.
And it's like 1.3 now. What is that worth in 30 years?
Yeah.
1.3. I mean,
the fact that you guys are teaching how to do that is phenomenal.
Right.
I mean, every agent should work here for that reason alone.
Yeah. I mean, look, I agree. There are people in this industry that just want to be a salesperson and they don't want to own real estate. And I have people in my close network that are killers when it comes to selling real estate, but they don't own real estate. And I just couldn't wrap my head around that.
Yeah. Yeah.
Some people get scared. It goes back to risk tolerance. Yeah. You know what I mean? Like, dude, I don't feel like dealing with tenants either. You know what I mean? But the risk is so worth the reward. Yeah. You know what I mean? Like, that's my plan.
I think if you can put your anxiety aside and put your mind in the worst case scenario and figure out what you're going to do. Because you want to have lived there mentally before it happens. You know what I mean? Sure. So okay, in this worst case scenario, my mind, I've played this out in my mind. No, don't dwell on it. But I've played this out in my mind. If this tenant leaves, what are my exit strategies? What am I going to do?
Exit strategy.
The moment something goes bad, I've got this mapped out. That's contingency plan, but it's just that. That's really, I think that's super important, and it's underappreciated because people don't want to be, oh, you're just like, you're expecting the worst. No. Like you're expecting the best.
Yeah.
But you need to spend a little time getting okay with the emotional roller coaster that is an exit plan. You need to be okay with like the news, that email that you get that like your heart drops, you know?
Right.
That's like a business mindset.
Yep.
That's like goes back to the entrepreneurial mindset. Like W-2 people, I mean, I shouldn't say that, but I mean, so a lot of people don't think that way. You know what I mean? So
a lot of people I know are comfortable enough where they are that they don't want to take on the risk or the burden.
It's just like
growing.
There's just risk to take a lot of L's in this life versus that life. In my opinion, it's like
it's comfortable.
Right.
You know,
until it's not. And that's like the like the thing that I would encourage, you know, people who it can be kind of a phantom, a comfort,
right.
Where like someone else is providing you that comfort, you know, as opposed to like, that's something that you've been able to, as a part of our capitalistic nation, that's awesome to be free in. Yeah. You've been able to provide a business that can provide you what typically a government or an employer would provide you, which is like, you know, incentive programs or like food stamps, you know, at the worst case scenario. You would now you don't need the government to pay you for food stamps, right? You've got a business that's paying for your food, you know? So it's like, that's like the beauty of capitalism is like you've been able to build something that's going to sustain your life. And that's a much better position to be in than beholden to somebody else, you know? In general, and that's true for everybody. Whether or not like you have the risk tolerance to do that is another question. Yeah. But everyone knows that. You know what I mean? Like if I'm reliant fully on Rob paying me for my mortgage, my food, you know, everything, I may have optionality for other jobs, but like that could terminate tomorrow. You know what I mean? And then like if the job market's bad, what am I going to do? You know, it's just the willingness to take a little bit more of an active role into your contingency plans, you know?
Right.
It's fire.
Yeah.
This episode was fire, dude.
Yeah, it was a good one.
Yeah. All right. Thanks, guys.
We'll be, listen, if this continues, we will be asking you to come back. Maybe bring the accountant next time.
Yeah. Sean is
he'll take Vince's spot.
Yeah, he'll take my spot. Who's your accountant?
So it's Butrika Ployd and Associates. They're phenomenal. Mike Butrika is the owner of it. He'd be great. He's just an incredibly busy dude. Yeah. But they take a different approach they're not just like a bookkeeping firm. Giving a lot of people shout outs. You should get a little commission.
Yeah,
right.
You are.
No, it's good though. They deserve it. They take a little bit of a different approach. They they'll do tax planning. They'll do your taxes, you know, returns. They'll do your bookkeeping. But where they differentiate is like, I'm like, okay, I want to make X, Y, and Z moves that all can interplay with each other, and it will impact my business. Say I want to hire somebody, I want to develop a new software product, and I want to, you know, buy a CRM. So like these are three things that all have they're all going to be interrelated and they're going to affect my business. They're going to be like, okay, here's the tax strategies that you can use to mitigate your tax burden on that. For developing R&D tax credit, you know, and capitalization, the payroll taxes for hiring somebody. They'll help me navigate all of that. Yeah. Think through all that, and then also look at our P&L, look at our cash flow statement, look at our balance sheet, and be like, this is how it's going to impact. You know, the timing of all those moves. This is how it's going to impact your profit, your cash flow, your balance sheet. You know, the value of your business. Right. They'll project that out. Here's what you can expect from that. Here are the warning signs of that's going wrong. So like it's a little bit different than just like getting your tax return done. You know, so like they take an approach where they're going to partner with an entrepreneur to navigate the decision making from the financial lens. You know, right. So I have them on a retainer, and you know, me and my director of finance, head of ops of our holding company, will jump in to these meetings. They'll go through the tactical stuff, like how do we, you know, classify this expense over $2,500 for amortization or depreciation schedules, you know, or they'll also help us with strategy,
right?
You know.
Yeah, that's nice to have somebody on a retainer like that.
Yeah, sure. But Mike would be great if we can get if Mike's available. That'd be awesome. If Sean would be awesome.
Are they local?
Well. Yeah, they're they're on Mainline.
Oh, nice.
On the Mainline.
Okay. Awesome.
Yeah.
Well, I'm sure we all have some shit to do.
Yeah, man. So. That's good though.
Thank you very much.
Thanks for having me, guys.
Yeah, this was a great episode, man.
Thanks, Christian.
Really appreciate it.
Yeah, thanks, Christian. Shout out to
Christian.
Bridge 309.
Let's go.